Let me get my screen share. Oh, thank you for to you, Kristen, for doing that. All righty, we're going to run through the announcements super fast this morning, and then we get to hear from Daniel and Gabrielle today. So thank you to the both of you for putting some content together for us. Always appreciate hearing from you. So we've got kind of a short slide deck today since it's the beginning of the month. We're kind of just through week one. But just a reminder about our Dial Workroom, open 24/7 now. There is a new link, and it's really important to use that new link because that's where we'll be. It won't accidentally bump everybody off when Jordan has another meeting. So this is just a separate Zoom account dedicated for our Dial Room. So thank you to Jordan for providing that for us. Also, a reminder that Amy Warren will be doing the FIF and reset training today, right after this call, starting at 1 Eastern time. So if you're just, looking for just some techniques and maybe language to use about how to do a reset, that's where you'll want to show up. So we'll hope to see you there. And Ignite is coming quickly. I think the biggest thing about Ignite, if you're not registered, you should register and join us. We would love to have you. For those of you who are registered, just a reminder that there is a fire and ice party Friday night. So you have to, technically, you're supposed to come dressed as either fire or ice. Kristen Gaines told me that she has her outfit ready to go. So, got to keep up with her. So anxious to be there with all of you that are coming. It'll be fun. And then we are in week 2 of February. It is a 4-week turn-in month, and all promotions and submit business, they are actually kind of due on the same day, which is the last Friday of the month, the 28th of February. So make sure you're pushing hard for promotions and meeting the requirements needed for Slingshot if that's something that you're running for. And this was fun to put together. We had all kinds of people pass their exam last week and a little bit of carryover from the previous week, but official congratulations to Eric Stang, direct to Tim Coates for passing your exam. Jacqueline and Steve Jocelyn passed their exams. Excuse me. And then Caitlin Forsyth passed her exam as well. So congratulations to the 4 of you. There'll be a lot of things kind of coming along over the next week or so as you get all of your contracting with Symmetry lined up and some training done. So anxious to connect with each one of you as the time goes on and we get you guys ready to start calling clients and setting up some appointments. So congratulations. And then we had some fun milestones as well. Congratulations to you, Tim Coates, for hitting 25,000 in submit business. And also to you, Jeff Lipson, for making quick work to 50,000 submit. So well done to both of you, gentlemen. And then we had one weekend warrior. Jeff was doing some work on Saturday, dialing and meeting with clients. And I know you also did some dialing on Sunday before games, I guess, the game last night. So great job, Jeff. Congratulations on 2 apps for 1,581. And then Jason Edminster, congratulations to you for officially getting that first application submitted. I think we did this slide last week for you, but the application wasn't submitted until Saturday last week, so it technically counted for business last week. But great job getting your first application in, and that was on a client. So great job, Jason. And then last week, as a master agency, we had 7 writers, 1 new, which was Jason, and we came in at 18,857. Year-to-date numbers, we're going to start breaking out the Jennifer Gaines and the Kyle and Kristen Gaines base shop. So if you want to follow along on the year-to-date numbers, we'll be posting those there. So anyway, we're already at 138,000 as a master agency, and then 54,000 coming in for the Gaines base, and then Kyle and Kristen Gaines base, 83,420, which those two numbers together equal the master 138,300. So great job. And then here are the teams with new writers for 2025. We're going to be focusing on this slide as well. Anytime we get some new writers, within the base, like the direct to somebody, we will be posting it here. So this is kind of the name of the game, and one you want to watch and one that you want to be on too. Means your team is growing. Last week, we had two of us hit 5K by Friday. So congratulations to you, Daniel Cuchiara, for coming in at 8,234 last week. And Jeff Lipson also hitting 5K by Friday with 6,217. You guys are the ones that we are chasing. So great job. And then here's how everything broke out last week within the base shop. So Jennifer Gaines' base shop, we have 4 riders, 1 new, total of 7,924. Submit over 10 applications, and Jeff coming in at the #1 spot, followed by myself, Tim Coates, and Jason Edminster with your first application. And in the Kyle and Kristen Gaines base shop, 3 riders, 10,933 submit over 6 applications. Daniel coming in with 3, 8,234, Kyle with 2, 2,293, and Kristen Gaines 1 at 406. Well done. And then our 100 families served slide, the one that is really fun to be on. Every single family here represents every number. One app is one family served, which this is a fun slide to watch. The end of the year, you'll get some kind of little treat or reward or something to celebrate that you've served 100 families. So we've already got a lot of people off to a great start on this slide, but 110 families served so far this year by our team. And then the Chase the Contract, again, we're in week 2 of month 2 of 2025. So let us know what you're going for February, whether that be a contract promotion or a level of leadership. What are you shooting for and what's it going to take to hit it? So let us know what you're doing. And if you need a running buddy, this is a good way to see what everybody's posting. And if you've got somebody who's maybe running for the same thing as you are, you can cheer each other on, encourage each other, check in with each other, and kind of do it that way. I've always thought it's fun to have a running buddy when you're in this business. So let us know what you're doing. I'll check the chat after, but great job to everyone shooting for your goals. And then anyone who needs a connect call, please let us know, schedule a time on the calendar. And we'd love to connect with you just about any questions you have regarding strategy or hurdles, anything, or just to kind of spend some time getting to know each other. Schedule a time with us. We'd love to do that with you. And I believe that is our last slide. It is. I'll save that for a moment. Stop my screen share and give control over to the Cuchiaras. Give me 1 second to do that, though. All right. You guys should be good to go. I'm going to check really quick on who's running for what. We've got some people. I just scrolled back a little bit. Oh, yeah, we've got some people going for some great promotions. This is going to be fun. We're going to have a great time here this first quarter. I think a lot of people are going to be hitting their production goals. It's going to be great. And a lot of people getting started as well. So got a lot going on. So great job cheering everybody on. All right. Well, Daniel and Gabriele, who do we have the pleasure of listening to today? Both of you or going back and forth, tag team?
Both of us. Yep.
Perfect. Great. Yep. We're ready for you. Thank you for preparing and sharing with us.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Gabs, I'll kick it off and we can get started into there. Is your mic working? Say a few words.
I've been trying. I don't think it picked it up
we
yet.
hear you now.
Okay. Just a little delay.
Okay, cool. Well, good morning, team. Happy Monday to you guys. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. We're excited for a new week. By the way, Gabrielle's birthday is this week, so everybody, this is Gabrielle's week.
Yay!
She's a little Valentine's Day baby. So Friday is her big day. Anyways, we are excited for this topic today. This is one that is important for everybody. And I mean, no matter if you've been in this business for 1 week, for a month, for a year, for 7 years, it doesn't matter. We are excited to talk about this one. And it is about the pit of despair. Woo! Let's go. Fun, very joyful, lighthearted topic here.
I hope you have a way to come out of the pit of despair. So let's make sure we close the loop on that.
Oh
Pretty
yeah,
much all the calls.
I'm just kidding. I
absolutely.
knew you did. I just had to say.
We got tools, we got solutions for everything here. Man, this is going to be a fun one just because it's something and it's somewhere that either we have been in or that you will be in. And I don't say that negatively. I say that as just everybody hits that point at some point. It is just the way that it goes. So really quickly, I just wanted to kind of give a baseline, a structure around what the pit of despair means. And then I'm going to give it over to Gabs and we're going to kind of go back and forth with a lot of things here. But what I mean by the pit of despair, and some of you know this and some of you don't, but it's the place where you feel like you don't have what you need to succeed. Okay. The place where you feel like you don't have what you need to succeed. So that can mean a lot of different things in this business. That can mean a lack of resources. That can mean a lack of time, a lack of wins. That could mean you feel alone or you feel kind of solitude. You don't feel like anybody else is struggling with the same things that you're struggling with. Maybe you're not producing at the level you want to produce at. Just giving you this whole kind of umbrella of what the pit of despair, because you'll hear that, what that means as we talk about this and talk about solutions to understand it, recognize it, and move past it. So, as far as that goes, that is the overlying structure of that. And I'll lead it over to Gabs here to kind of kick us off into the more positive side of this.
I'm excited. I'm super excited for this. I wasn't going to speak on the definition at all, but I just revisited the podcast that really inspired this call for us. And there was something that really stuck out to me, just in way of kind of defining this for ourselves. And they were saying that as entrepreneurs, guys, we are all what they would call professional mental time travelers. How fun is that? So there's beauty in that because what we're doing in that is really taking an idea, a hope, and we're projecting ourselves into the future and saying, I can see this thing being really big. I can see this thing providing passive income for my family, like generations down the line. What I have right now in my current state is not necessarily the fruit of that. And so guys, just to keep in mind, like we all have that innately in us. Like if you're here, then you have that because you saw potential in this opportunity. But what we're going to highlight today is unfortunately the downside of that, which means that you can also mental time travel into the future and think about every problem that you're going to face and all of your worries. And you can live in that place and you can live in fear of that place instead of where you are kind of there's pros and cons. So yeah, we're not going to tell you don't be future focused because I think that's a superpower that all of us will need to get through some of the hard days, but we're going to redirect some of what you're focusing on. So with that in mind, that's my segue on all my appointments when I need a moment to bring something up. Have any of you guys seen this before? You can put a 1 in the chat or you can raise your hand. Awesome. Awesome. So this tool has become quickly one of my favorites for a couple reasons. The biggest one, guys, is really to help you identify where you are on this journey. Yes, thank you, Genevieve, for noticing my Princess Bride reference.
Well, Morgan said it first.
Oh, sorry. Keeping the chat and my views a little difficult. Morgan, props to you first, I suppose. Your bag of shame, you needed a win today. But this tool is really good, guys, for helping identify where you are and for giving you a roadmap for where you're going. So what is the thing that everybody can see the colors here represent? What do all of these words that are in different colors have in common? Somebody put it in the chat or unmute. I love watching the smoke rise from all the gears turning in your minds. Nothing?
Can you clarify that question, Gabs? I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So excitement, frustration, resolve, mastery. What do these things have in common?
It's a feeling.
It's an emotion. Thank you. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
feeling. Great.
It's a Monday morning. We're all a little
Yeah,
we're a
we're
little
all a little slow. That's good. I'm here to wake us all up. So yeah, guys, these are all emotions. And the really exciting part about that is that we get to choose our emotions. These are things that we do have control over, even though sometimes it can feel like we're spinning a little bit out of control. So to explain this a little bit, because if some of you haven't seen this, excitement is the emotion when we have unconscious incompetence. And that's basically when you don't know what you don't know. It's bliss. It's like you have no concept of any of the problems that you're gonna face. You're just excited to be here. So I would say for me, when I first came into this opportunity, that's where I landed, was in this excitement. And I hope you guys landed there at first too. Going down this little rabbit trail over here is conscious incompetence. So that's when we start to get an idea, oh, there's things that I need to know that I don't know. And that can create a lot of frustration. So this, guys, this is what can slide us right into the pit of despair, and then move us on over. Guys, I want to say, I think we've all visited this creepy guy in the pit of despair, but I hope that it's for like a passing moment, like, oh hey, on the drive by into resolve. So take a moment and for yourselves, I want you guys to kind of identify yourselves like, I'm here. And you don't need to put that in the chat, but maybe make a mental note of it or write it down. Because the most important part of leading yourself is knowing yourself. So we want you guys to know kind of where you are in that. And then moving in, Daniel, is there anything you want to add before I take off there?
No, I would just really encourage you guys, if you're not writing down where you are in this, just actually take a second and figure it out, because really it's very important. I do this every time I see this box. I actually mentally do it like I'm doing it now and going, this is where I am. So take a second, look at it and go, this is exactly where I am. Am I frustrated? Am I trying to find resolve? Or am I just excited right now? Um, maybe you're in the mastery, which is, I mean, that's awesome, as well. But wherever it is, take a mental note of that and write that down somewhere for you to see.
Yep. And these little quotes will help you with that, resolve, conscious competence. I know enough to get traction, but it's still hard to do it. And then mastery, unconscious competence, it's second nature to me now. You could do this job with your eyes closed. Awesome, awesome. So, what we really wanted to talk about was kind of what I'm going to call emotional shifting. The good news, guys, like I mentioned before, is that we have a choice in all of these things. We get to choose how we respond to all of these things. So the other day we were on a call with Mr. Danny Young, and he is like an emotional wizard. He's really gotten a handle on his emotions and like helping his agents shift to emotional success. And if you've been here for any amount of time, you know that that is the name of the game, is really just kind of centering yourself in some positive emotions. And he asked me a question that I thought was really powerful. He said, Gabs, do you know when you're sliding into the pit of despair? He's like, can you feel when that's coming on? My answer was yes. I think there's some people that might not know that. And you can put a 1 in the chat if it's a yes for you. You can put a 2 in the chat if it's a no. Because for some people, symmetry is going to present some of the biggest challenges you've ever faced. So you might not be comfortable with that feeling. But most of you are putting 1, which is good. We got some self-aware people. Don't be afraid to put 2. You can put 2 as well. This is great, guys. So in mind of that, when we start to feel ourselves sliding into the pit of despair, that's where we get to start making some decisions. So what I'll have you guys do now, go ahead and pull out a sheet of paper or a note card. something to write on. Daniel, what do you have to add for us?
While you guys are doing that, just some quick things here. Gabrielle's gonna go through some really good stuff here, but just a saying, this is also another Dannyism. And it's that most of you guys said that when you're sliding into the pit of despair, you know what that feels like. Um, Danny the other day just told Gabs and I, he said, discouragement is a choice. To feel discouragement is a choice. So, when we feel ourselves sliding into something, we can choose either I'm going to choose that discouragement if I'm feeling like I'm going to the pit of despair, or I can choose kind of something else. And so um, what Gabrielle wants to do here in this next part is kind of that distinguishing factor between those two things, and give you some really good tools and directions to do that.
Yeah, good word, Daniel. So the solution, just to make that very plain and clear, the solution to either bypassing or shortening your time in the pit of despair is to master emotional shifting. Because it's an emotional decision, guys, when we let ourselves slip into that place. So I'll have you leave a little bit of room on the top. Actually, at the very top of your page, you can write emotional shifting device. We're going to give you a little tool to walk away with today. So it'll say emotional shifting device at the top of your paper. And this is going to be a piece of paper that I want you guys to be able to look back on when you feel yourself sliding into the pit of despair. So what we're going to do for you guys is we're going to give you a couple tools today that are emotional shifters. And these actually all came from somebody, and I forget his name, but he's a psychologist. He's done a lot of study on the brain. So all of this is based in a lot of science, which is really cool. It's hard to kind of combine emotions with science sometimes, but there's a lot of scientific mastery behind controlling our own emotions. So the first thing I'll have you write a number one. The first thing that I want you to write down is your favorite song. And you guys can put done in the chat when you've done that. And essentially, guys, what listening to your favorite song does, it's really simple, is it shifts your mood. It's an outside source that comes in and changes some of your internal chemistry so that you might be feeling sad, but you definitely have some positive association with your favorite song, unless you're kind of a sick freak and your favorite song makes you sad.
I want to hear some of these.
Oh yeah,
I
if
want
you
to
guys
hear some
want
of
to
these
share.
ones. Somebody share what your favorite song is, or multiple people. Just unmute
I'll put my
Dancing
or
Queen.
type in. What'd you say, Jennifer?
Dancing Queen.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yes,
Let's
such a
go.
good one.
That is great.
It's so good.
What
Ooh, Looking Bagel. Come on, Anna.
Highwayman. Highwayman. Who is Highwayman by? Why do I know that song? I just can't picture it right now.
It's by Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, and Chris
Mm,
Yes,
Christopherson.
yes, yes, yes,
that's
yes, yes.
good. Will and Jennings are awesome.
Yes.
Love it.
That's
I
Amarillo
have a
by.
song for the year. This isn't like my favorite song ever, but it gets me in the mood. Cool. Awesome, guys. So that's going to be our first one because that one is something we can access pretty much anywhere if you live in modern day America. So on your phone, you can pretty much play that whenever you need to. So that's going to be our first very easy, very practical emotional shifter for you. Daniel, do you want to talk about number two?
Um, yes, I do want to talk about number two. This one is this one's fun. This is kind of one that I like to go to, um, in my own head, and it's your favorite place. So on your piece of paper, number two, write your favorite place. Like, and that could be like somewhere you've been, it could be your house, it could be your bed. It could be somewhere that you just like you love to be. Um, and that really brings you a lot of joy. So, for me, like I'll share mine. One of my favorite places, Gabrielle and I got engaged in Carlsbad,
Mhm.
California. And so, in my head, I'm like, that's like one of my favorite places ever. Did you just type that in there, Gabs?
Good.
There you go. But like, yeah, that's that's one of my favorite places to be. Like if it, in my head, I'm like, man, I really love that place. It's such a wonderful place to be. So kind of bringing that into your head of one of your favorite places. Um, but yeah, continue. Yeah, even share those on it. Write them on your paper. Put them on here. Just like keep giving us some context. Show us what you guys show us what you guys like. Where you guys mentally like to be in as well. What's your favorite spots? I like a lot of these answers. Anna, your acreage,
Yeah,
that's
that's so cool.
backyard garden. Come on.
Oh,
I am a farm girl. Like I always say, Iowa dirt is my bloodline.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. That is awesome.
so sweet.
Got a lot of Hawaii on here. Okay. Okay. Man, very good. Jeff, you skate or play hockey?
That's cool. That's cool. That actually makes sense to me.
That's awesome. Oh, cool. Learned
I
something new.
love that.
Soggy
Awesome.
bar.
Awesome. Well, you're still welcome to put some in the chat. I am gonna move on to our number three. This one's more physical. I know for me, sometimes it's not enough to just try to mentally transport somewhere. Sometimes I need something a little bit more hands-on. So this third one is what we would call like a sensory shifter. And that's when we kind of put ourselves into a different location. So number three is gonna be somewhere in town, local, that you like to take a walk. And ideally, this is going to be somewhere that you can access every single day and somewhere in nature, somewhere with some trees, um, somewhere nearby. So you can write that down. And of course, you can share it in the chat. Um, I really liked the science behind this one, guys. So essentially, this guy who introduced the idea of like a sensory shifter, um, he was explaining this as, where's the quote? I wrote this down. In times of stress, nope, not that one. When we're overcome by emotions, it consumes our attention. And the example that he gave of this was when like you try to read a chapter of a book, but you're really worried about something. I've tried to do that a million times, and I reread the chapter over and over and over again. Like I'm basically useless. And so the idea of going out in nature is that it gets to nature kind of gently captures our attention back. And it does that through stimulating all these different things. Like when we're in nature, it stimulates sight, smell, touch. It's all of our senses, which is really cool. And then usually you get to see something new, even if it's the same walk that you do every single day. Usually, maybe the leaves are changing color because it's a different season, or there's like a little dog on your walk or something like that. But what that's doing is it's capturing our attention back. And so we're getting our emotions kind of back on track. And I really loved that idea. He said that they did a test, a cognitive test, with people that were in like a really activated emotional state or really stressed or worried. And they had them walk around like a cityscape, or they had them in an office or something like that. They took a cognitive test and they all did very poorly. And then he had those same people go and take a walk, basically in like a naturescape, come back and take the cognitive test, and they all did really well. And so on a very practical level, guys, I just wanted to highlight like these are things that not only help you get out of the pit of despair or avoid the pit of despair completely, but it also makes us much more effective at our jobs. So number three is going to be more of like a physical and practical one for you guys.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, last one, number four. This one's a fun one because this is also one that I I think, live in, which is the big goal, the why. Why are you here? What do you want? These are a lot of things. This could be multiple things. But for you guys on number four on your piece of paper, why are you here? Write it down. What is the thing that drives you long term? What is your dream? What's your vision? And it can be as big as you want it to be, and it could be as small as you want it to be. But why are you here? And post that up in the chat as well. I would love to see a lot of your guys's. I would love to know why. Um, because yeah, Kyle just said it. It is everything. It is the reason why we're here.
Mhm.
Um, I told Gabrielle this yesterday when we were talking about this call because she asked me, what's your why? My why, just so while you guys are thinking, is complete freedom. And I mean that in such a way of the freedom that is just huge. Freedom that I'm able to actually teach other people how to have the same freedom. Freedom that's so big that time and resource and money are just tools, and that we can actually live real life and teach people how to do the same.
Mm, I love that.
Um, but I'm loving to see a lot of your guys' freedom, pride, growth.
Mm,
Kristen, to build a team of leaders, absolutely. Make a huge impact,
mm,
build
I love
something together. Tim, creating a legacy. Yeah, that's like that's like one of the biggest ones, like generational, absolute generational. Put your kids through school without having to be in debt. Yeah,
yeah,
that's very good.
yeah.
Yep.
I,
Tim, wake up and be excited about what you get to do. I love that.
I love that one.
I
I
love,
really thought with that one, Tim.
yeah. Jeff, spend time with family and friends. Give your children and wife the opportunity. Exactly. You are creating freedom for others. That is the same. I'm right there with you, man. Freedom for others. Jennifer, time and financial flexibility. Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is so sweet.
Ooh, Anna, to slow down. Wow. That is a wonderful answer.
I love that.
Wonderful answer. That is great.
Yeah, this was
Great.
good for my heart. That was good for my heart. Awesome, guys. So the last thing that we wanted to chat about, how do we make this mental shift for us more automatic? That's always my question. I love being able to maybe put my little mental shifting device up by my computer. But eventually, I want to feel, if I'm feeling myself slide into the pit of despair, I want to be able to automatically have that mental shift. So there is kind of a mnemonic device that the psychologist put together for how we make this process a little bit more automatic. You can put this on the back of your paper. You can put it at the bottom, whatever is going to be more helpful for you. And then Daniel, do you want to like write it in the chat for me as well? So the mnemonic device is called Whoop, like whoop, there it is, like that one. So it's WOOP. And W stands for wish. I'll explain that one first. So wish for today's purposes might be avoiding the pit of despair. Wish might be rooting yourself in positivity. It's the thing that you're hoping for. It's the thing you're trying to accomplish. It's your wish. And of course, you can write down your W, maybe in the chat, but I want you guys to be able to keep the whoop open so that you can use it for every single situation you might be interfacing. So up to you guys for that one. But yeah, I'll give you guys some time maybe to write down your wish. Do that in the chat or put it on your paper.
And for some of you, this might be the same thing as number four that
Yeah,
we just went through.
yeah,
Even if it is, write it down again.
absolutely. and then just look right into the camera when you're done so that I can so I can see you guys are finishing up. Grant, I see you. Thank you. Genevieve. Cool. Awesome, guys. Awesome. I'm seeing some more eyes. So you can continue writing if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the O, the first O. So the first O is outcome. And basically, I want you guys to think what's going to be the outcome if my wish is achieved. And the really cool part of this process is what it does, whether we are realizing it or not. We're already rooting ourselves in positivity and in hope by establishing our wish in the outcome first, which is really cool. So for sake of an example, if my wish is to root myself into positivity and to avoid the pit of despair, the outcome is that I'm going to be a more focused agent. I'm going to be able to accomplish more, and I'm going to have a way better time doing it. Love that. Love that. Thanks, guys, for sharing these in the chat. This has been the favorite part, my favorite part of the call. Awesome. Let me know when we have some outcomes done. You can give me a thumbs up or put a one in the chat. Cool. Sweet. See those rolling in. Awesome. All right, guys. So we'll move to the second O here. Daniel, I'm sorry, we should have probably taken turns. Do you want to explain the O?
Yeah, I'll get this one. Third O is obstacles. So this is the one place, this is in this whoop is where we find and look ahead and go, what might get in the way of my wish, of my outcome? What are those things? Reason why this is good while you guys are writing this is because you can actually put a name to it. Actually like look into it and say like, oh, this could happen. And what that does is when we name it, it actually makes it a whole heck of a lot less scary and less daunting. Um, so write a couple of obstacles. Yeah. Morgan, you just said myself. Yeah, definitely. I think for um, a lot of us, I think that's how it is. Kristen, yeah, comparison, doom scrolling, negative self-talk. Very, 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 very good ones. I think once again, I love this saying that uh, most of us are like the rest of us. And I would say that a lot of us are struggle with all of those same things. Absolutely. Time allotment, dedication. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Very, very, very good stuff.
Thanks for sharing these in the chat too, guys, because I think it's really powerful to know that some of us are overcoming the same obstacles.
Feeling what self-employment looks like. Ooh, yes. Yes. Oh, you guys are gonna, Stephen and Jacqueline, you guys are gonna love it. You're gonna kill it.
We're stoked. We're motivated.
Yeah, very exciting.
So looking forward to it.
I love that. Yeah, every word out of your guys' mouth just gets me more fired up for you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. I'll hit the last one too, Gabs, if you want me to.
Yeah,
You
you
get
can. I'll have something to add to it.
um cool. Well, the last one is plan, which that means the thing that you're going to plan on doing.
Mhm.
How are you going to do it? Some of us look at all these things and you have your wish, you have your outcome, you have your obstacles. And I feel like a lot of the time, like probably most of us don't actually go like, this is how I'm going to execute it.
Mhm.
I'm a big executor. I live in the plan. That's like my life is I live in I like the dream, but I also live in like my first questions usually for Gabrielle are like, okay, how do we do it? Let's get the right to action. Like let's get the fix. Let's do the thing. And
And
so
I'm
yeah,
so sorry. I want to say this early because you guys are already scribbling away. These need to be if-then statements. Okay, so if this happens, then this will be my response. That's really important for the plan. Sorry to cut you off, Daniel.
no, that's great. Structure in and of itself is persuasive. Ooh. Morgan, you and me are very similar. I love structure. I love to create a structure.
Daniel, when I got in that bad wreck a couple months ago, after I got out of the car from hanging upside down, the very first thing I did was look around and just said, "This is going to be a logistical nightmare."
Yeah.
That's all I thought of. So, so
Oh gosh. Yes. Yep. That is hilarious. Yeah, you and me would be in the same boat. We'd be like thinking about all the outsides. Uh,
I'm so
that's
glad to be married to you, Daniel, with your mind working like that. It grounds me in some ways.
yeah, it's good stuff.
Right.
Anybody else want to post like a some sort of plan or say what their plan is real quick? Perfect timing. Create a routine, stay focused,
Hi, Sean.
and avoid the pit of despair. Absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Gabs, you want to
Yeah. So like I said, I went back and I listened to this psychologist a second time just to see what other things that I could gain, little tidbits. And the thing I didn't hear the first time about the if-then statements and whoop in general, this is actually used by Navy SEALs to help create automatic responses to high stress situations. And I think that that is an extreme. Most of us don't need to be able to react that quickly. The stakes are a lot lower, luckily in what we do. So we really get to apply this and practice it first, guys. But I do think it's incredibly important that we're practicing making these automatic. And so that was kind of the thought behind the if then statements as well, so that you are ahead of time planning what the obstacles could be and then knowing how you're going to react when those things come up. And what this does, the shift to automation is basically it takes the thinking out of it. It also takes the question and the stress out of it because you're like, I planned for this. I knew that this obstacle was going to come my way. I know myself well enough to be able to say that this thing really triggers fear in me, or that it triggers self-doubt in me, or it triggers like this thing. But this is how I plan to respond when that thing comes up. And so that's the last thing that I wanted to say, guys. I think that these tools, if we're diligent about using them, is going to make it so like new agents like you, like Steve and Jacqueline, I want to say your last name. It's going to make it so you guys might be able to completely go from, frustration to resolve without hitting the pit of despair. That could be a reality for any one of us. If you guys have visited the pit of despair, then you know what it feels like. This can make it so you can avoid that or climb out if you're there right now. So I think this is incredibly, incredibly important for all of us. And I hope that you guys are able to use your emotional shifting devices. I hope that you put it either on your computer, somewhere that you can see it, or on your phone, but it's somewhere where it's going to help you on a rainy day, because we all are going to have some of those rainy days. Daniel, anything to add?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Like, I guess a really quick last thing is that a theme of our calls this year, which we've said to you guys before, is what can symmetry do for us? Like, why are we here? And these tools and these skills, not only are we gaining this from what we do on a day-to-day basis, but it spans on into our actual life, our actual existence outside of symmetry, which, by the way, like they are they work together. They, that's the thing. If you're not overcoming the pit of despair in your personal life, then I assure you your symmetry life is going to be pretty messed up too. And vice versa as well. And so to use these tools simultaneously for the work-life balance, is huge. It's huge. It's going to be, if you can practice this and really put it into play and have it just fire normally in your brain, man, you guys are all gonna just see so much growth and so much potential arise in that. It's gonna be awesome. So that's my last word.
Great call, you guys. Thank you so much. The square is something that sometimes goes a little bit unnoticed. This is a symmetry tool that we have through Giant, and it's very practical and it's realistic. That we're probably gonna walk through that a little bit, but it's not a bad thing at all, as long as we don't camp out there, like you guys said. So thank you for providing us with these tools. Of how I loved this. I loved the thought process behind it. And you guys just did a really great job sharing this with us. So thank you very much. And also it talking through something like this. Whoop, 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 Daniel. All
That's
right.
awesome.
We see you. Just one last thing. Sharing something like this and the way you all have presented it really shows the growth in the two of you to extrapolate that tool and present it to us the way that you did shows the growth in the two of you. So I just want to make sure we acknowledge that, because that's very evident.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Cool, you guys.
Thank you.
All right. Well, have a great week, everybody. And we'll see you in the dial room or on the training call that's coming up here at the top of the hour. So
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you guys. Thank you.
Hey.
Bye, guys.
Bye.